This is the government news brief for Wednesday, December 8, 2015. In the news, CARICOM countries including Guyana signed €6 million agreement with Italy to address climate change. Tourism Minister says funding available for persons with innovative ideas, and a milk plant may soon be re-established. These stories and more in this edition of the government news brief. I am Azeem Khan. Welcome back. Italy has pledged €6 million over a 5-year period to help CARICOM member states adapt to climate change by lessening their vulnerability to sea level rise and climate variability. Guyana's Minister Raphael Trotman, who holds responsibility for natural resources and the environment, was one of the signatories to the agreement. The Caribbean has been identified as one of the global areas most at risk of climate change. Worsening climate change risks include stronger tropical storms in the Bahamas, Barbados, Dominican Republic, and Jamaica in the Caribbean. Standards and Poor's sees the economic cost from natural disaster worsening. Guyana has been at the forefront of the regional battle to raise awareness and reverse climate change. Only 6 months on the job, and Guyana's Minister of Tourism, Hughes, is opening up opportunities for persons with innovative ideas that would drive development of the local tourism industry. Here are the details.
Guyana is really looking to tap into the billion-dollar global tourism industry. Speaking at the recently held tourism conference, Tourism Minister Hughes disclosed that funding is available for persons with pioneering ideas.
I must say that in the 6 months I've been in this position, I have been pleasantly surprised that there is funding available for tourism products and innovative resources that we can bring to the table. The challenge is we haven't taken advantage of it. And it's understandable because quite often just the paperwork that is required and the project documentation that is required can be just overwhelming to the largest of businesses. So that's the other area we're going to be looking at, and that is ensuring that we can provide support to businesses in terms of developing your product document to access those funds.
The minister acknowledged the need for closer collaboration between the government and service providers in the tourism industry. She called on them to up their game.
You are the stakeholders of Guyana's very important and growing tourism industry. You provide the products, the services, and most importantly, the experience visitors to this beautiful Guyana will yearn for, and when they do come, enjoy.
The government's drive to make Guyana a must-see destination for tourism has initiated a number of activities and initiatives to develop the industry, including an overall budgetary allocation of over $300 million and organizing the country's first ever National Tourism Conference.
In the agriculture sector, Minister Noel is looking to reintroduce a milk plant. Shanazalo tells us more.
Working through the Guyana Livestock Development Authority, the government is looking to reintroduce the milk plant. According to Agriculture Minister Noel, the milk plant would be a benefit to both rural and urban cattle farmers.
We have a dairy industry that was pretty vibrant. That is no longer there. Under the GLDA, we plan getting back a milk plant, a large milk plant, large enough to encourage dairy production nationally. As long as the dairy plant is in place, we are in a position to put cooling stations on the Essequibo coast, at MMA, at Mahika and Maikoni areas, in Region 6, even as far as Linden and intermediate savannas as was done in the past, to bring milk to the city.
The cattle population over the last 20 years has decreased from 300,000 head to approximately 77,000 head. This will be reversed as the Livestock Authority is looking into the matter. The National Agriculture Research and Extension Institute and the Guyana Marketing Corporation are exploring new crops and pursuing market-led agricultural developments.
That is the way agriculture aims to develop this nation. On the education standpoint, we also plan to put educational institutions for farmers in each ecozone, in the Rupununi, in the intermediate savannas, in the northwest, so that our young people could become agricultural entrepreneurs by example, certainly in association with our agricultural research stations.
The potential of plantains and coconuts in Guyana are also being examined. For the Government News Brief, Shanazalo reporting.
At the regional level, the focus is on linking development with resources. Seneca Thorne reports that regional democratic councils are seeking to optimize on what their respective regions have to offer.
Regional democratic councils are presently involved in assessing their region's resources. This is so plans for development could be linked with what is available in the regions.
None of our 10 regions are either desert, that all of our regions have resources, abundant resources, whether natural, physical, and human. And the regional administrations were charged or were tasked with creating plans of actions or action plans that can utilize the assets that are present in each of our regions to be able to attract investment in our respective regions, to be able to create jobs, and to be able to drive development to advance progress and the living standards of the people of the regions.
The vision is that by optimizing the use of the region's resources, that over time, the regions will become more productive and self-sustaining.
At the end of the day, development is not development unless it can improve people's lives. It is not about building huge buildings and engaging in large projects. Real development is only linked to human development.
Plans coming out of the assessment will be used to attract investments. This will lead to the creation of new economic activities and job creation. It is believed that the national unemployment figures of 40% is understated.
Efforts are being directed towards developing a policy framework that would guide the development of sports locally. Details in this report.
Local and international stakeholders are collaborating to develop a national sports policy. They are reviewing the old policy, which was formulated in 2009, sharing comments and suggestions for the development and implementation of a revised document.
They're pretty much in the brainstorming phase, and the intention is to have them review what currently exists as policy, make the changes, and then they will come together as a group and be able to work a document that most of the parties will be comfortable with and give it some life beyond 2015, because the current one doesn't extend beyond 2015.
The expectations are that the resulting national sports policy will reflect the ambitions and priorities of the people whilst responding to the gaps, needs, and opportunities.
The document would have to be very holistic to cover the areas of infrastructure and ensuring that the facilities do exist to have outdoor sports, if outdoor sport is what is being articulated in any particular sport school environment. So definitely, I would believe that the stakeholders would recognize what are the areas and that they will be able to address all of the areas.
For a long time, focus on sports has been on competitions and infrastructure for professional competitions. One of the key considerations that should come out of the review is for community-level physical activity and sport participation. Greater emphasis will be placed on sports in schools and on improving access to sports facilities and opportunities.
A complete solar power system has been dispatched for Radio Pyromac. It includes 9 panels, 1 inverter charge, and 4 12-volt deep cycle batteries. The system was procured at a cost of 780,000 Guyana dollars. Coordinator of the radio station, Virgil Harding, told Gina via telephone that the station is only able to broadcast for 2.5 hours with its present power supply. The solar system will increase the number of hours Radio Pyromac is on air. The station is Guyana's only indigenous community radio station. That has brought us to the end of the Government News Brief for Wednesday, December 8, 2015. All our programs can be viewed on our website. We're also on Facebook and on YouTube. This is our Guyana Nice photo of the day. Send us yours.